This is a quick demo of these Lascar panel meters. On the back of the meter there's quite a few pins, but the instructions show you how to wire them up. In essence, the meter measures a 0 to 200 millivolts, or actually a plus or minus 200 millivolt signal, and converts it into numbers. On the back of the meter you get a choice of where to put the decimal point, so the circuitry is entirely up to you to wire it to convert whatever voltage you're measuring into the 0 to 200 millivolt signal. Now on this one I've got the meter showing the supply voltage, the supply that's actually powering the circuit, and that's coming from this power supply up here. So I can adjust the power supply voltage. You can see the meter, the actual digital multimeter here shows the supply voltage I've adjusted it to, and the digital panel meter here is showing the voltage. There is even a backlight on these meters, so if I just turn off the bench lights, you can see a nice green backlight, and that's available by just wiring these little pins at the end here, so you can turn the backlight off or back on again with those pins. And they're the two little pins on their own at the side there. So I'll just turn this meter back on. It's saying I've not used it for a while. So I've now added a bit of electronics to this to allow the measurement of current as well, and that's just these few resistors here. And I've set up a current shunt here using some Constantan wire. That's a special wire that has a very low resistance variation or resistivity variation with temperature. That's ideal for making these sort of resistors. And I've wired that, if you follow that, up to the top to the TSV70 power supply, so we can turn that on. So the voltage is set here, and if I just put a bit of current on there, I'll bring that up to about 2 amps ish. You see the actual current is 2.1 amps or so. Now this is still measuring the voltage, so if I just move the wire over, disconnect this wire, and now put it here to measure the current. So you see now we're measuring. Current's now settled down to 2.075. The meter's just settling on 2.06, a little bit out. But then when you realise it can go all the way up to sort of, it's about 9 amps there, 8.9 amps on the multimeter. You see now we're measuring the current. Trim these with the potentiometers and whatever that you build into your circuit. But the current shunt, all I've done is soldered 2 wires. The thick wires are the current carrying wires, so I've soldered those onto the ends of the wire and then just tapped off it at 2 points to measure the voltage, and it just so happens that that gives approximately 100 millivolts for 10 amps. Just needs a very slight adjustment on a trimmer pot to bring it into calibration. And there you go, that's a current and voltage meter. It just needs a switch, and you can switch between the current and the voltage. So I'll put it back to voltage now. Disconnect this one and reconnect this one. There we go. 12.19 volts. 12.2, it's close enough.